Hello everybody, Mike Arnold here, co-founder of Pat Trading Partners along with Bob Iacchino. So Bitcoin did trigger the double bottom, ran up to the next key GAN projection, which was from the low of the right hand side to this high before the pause, gave us an intermediate target before our major first target of 98.91, where the 200 simple moving average is coming in, slammed into that, and then sold off. This is not over yet though. What would stop out this trade is a close below the 87.78 level or a trade down below through 86.33. So if the candle closed down below this level without touching this level, the trade would be closed out. Or if we just tanked and sold through this level, the trade would be closed out. Until then, the trade is still in play. Although not looking good, but it came down to our key level and held, turning back up, and now we have the rotation zone again against us. Weakness still coming in, selling pressure still coming in, even with this highly reliable pattern. But it was against the daily rotation zone, which we talked about, which does make it slightly lower probability. So here you go on the daily chart. Let me zoom in here. See, we spiked up into the rotation zone, hit this first little cluster area, and then sold off, and now that back below the rotation zone. That's why watching the daily rotation zone is so very important. Until we get the 4-hour rotation zone in our favor and the daily rotation zone, we do not get aggressive. But we will take high probability setups. Right now, it's just sitting on our hands, waiting for the next move to unfold. And the remaining target, should we break to other lows, are still in place, 79.22, 75.02. So really keep in mind the major resistance now on the daily chart is coming in about 99.78 to 10,000 area. Checking in on Ethereum, the double for Ethereum did not trigger, and now it's coming back down to what looks like it's now forming pretty much a horizontal channel. So we're taking this off for the time being. By the way, there was a mini double in here. Why we also track the double tops is because if they're triggered, it might be a way that you want to lighten up your position to add it back on again lower. So it triggered, went to the full target. That's the one I just had on there for teaching purposes. And again, it's forming this horizontal channel. It was briefly above the rotation zone, but again, prior resistance hitting it at the 37.5 GAN level, and the prior major, we had this support becoming resistance, slamming in resistance again and selling off. So we really need to get above this 734 area on a strong close. Really, I'd like to see us get above the declining 50-period exponential moving average on the 4-hour chart. Let's check in on the daily chart to see what that's looking like. So we finally have 8 coming down. It's hitting the price action. We've been consolidating. Remember, there are 2 ways to have a correction. Either you go back up in the rotation zone or you move sideways and let the rotation zone catch up. So now we have to see the next move that this is going to break. If it breaks down below about the 680 level, then watch for a retest of the lows, and if it breaks through there, we'll be watching for 605, 589, and then possibly 573, which will fine tune as it goes lower. Now, if this doesn't react and then we can get a close above this 37.5% level, that would put us into the rotation zone, and we could watch for the next major move up, which we'd be watching for about 766 to 772. Also checking in on Monero, another potential double bottom, now turned into a triple bottom. Again, another quick little double top here, which went to full target. Again, so if you bought something down here, you could always see this, oh, double top, oh, it's triggering, let me get out, and then look to re-add it lower. Again, to repeat myself from what I just said, but it's many times good to hear it multiple times. So, rotation zone still against Monero now. We watching, if we hold here, a rally back up. Major resistance now coming in about 272 to 276, and then above that, next major level is 291 to 293. Prior support becoming resistance up there. Let's check in on the daily chart. Again, there's not much going on. We're in a horizontal channel pattern. Now we have the first cross. We have the 8 now coming down to press price. So let's see if it breaks lower or it can hold. If we get a close really above the about 286, then we'll watch. But there's this major area. See, we have the 50, the 21, and this GAN cluster all 293 to 297. So that's going to be very critical. We're not doing anything aggressive until we can get through that level. If we do head lower, next major levels are 221, 210, and then 204 that we will be watching for. Finally, checking out Ripple. Ripple also double bottom turned into now a horizontal channel. So these targets are no longer valid, and it's never did trigger, so there's no stop to take into consideration. Also, again, a micro double top, which came down to full target, helping to form the other side of the horizontal channel. Major resistance still coming in right around the 8.83 level, 0.83 to 8315. And then we have the 50 period exponential right above that, 8379. So really a lot of overhead resistance that this has to get through. Again, more important to check out the daily now. This is still in consolidation. 8's now coming down to the top of it. So we really need a close above that 50 period exponential on the 4 hour to take us into the rotation zone. And then we'd watch for a move back to about 0.8844. Now, if we break lower, major area now is 0.6865. We have the 200 rising into that area. So keep that in mind. That would be a great place to watch for another reversal pattern. And if that doesn't hold, 0.654 to 0.6421 is the next major cluster lower. If it does break down, that we'll watch for a reversal pattern. That's what we have for you on a bunch of these coins, and we'll talk to you later. Bye for now.